Hello. In this presentation, we are going to review the work carried out by Telefonica within the 6Green project, specifically in Work Package 2, focusing on the development of the Network Slice Controller. The Network Slice Controller is a key component for enabling transport network connectivity, complementing the Wide Area Infrastructure Manager. The WIM interacts with the NSMF to provide guaranteed transport layer connectivity. The NSC, based on IETF specifications, orchestrates the request, provisioning, and lifecycle management of transport network slices. There are several use cases for this component, but in this video we will focus on one in particular, providing transport domain connectivity in response to slicing requests that incorporate decarbonization-level objectives. The NSC is built around two main modules. The first one is the mapper, which enriches the slice request with the necessary context. It translates the original request, identifies the optimal path for the traffic, and validates whether the slice can be feasibly implemented in the network. The second module is the realizer. This component determines the specific technology required to deploy the slice, interacting with the appropriate wide area network controllers to push the configurations into the transport network. The goal of this use case is to provide a transport slice that complies with the defined green requirements. The WAN is managed by the TerraFlow SDN controller, and an energy-aware planner is used to select the most energy-efficient path across the network. The complete workflow for this use case is as follows. A slice request is initiated by a vertical and sent from the NSMF to the NSC. The NSC then translates this request from the 3GPP network resource model into an IETF slice service request. The energy planner collects real-time metrics from the SDN controller, TerraFlow. Using this information, it computes the optimal path that satisfies the requested requirements. Once the optimal path is selected, it is passed to the realizer, which sends a request to TerraFlow SDN to create a Layer 2 VPN. Here we can see the network topology that we are going to configure for this use case. Here we can see an example of how the NSC translates the slice request it receives. The energy metrics extracted by the controller are diverse: the power consumption of each node, the energy efficiency of each node, the use of renewable energy sources, and the associated carbon emissions. Using these values, a green index is computed for every node in the network. The optimal path is then computed as follows, ensuring that all the green requirements specified in the request are fully met. Here you can see an example of how the Layer 2 service is instantiated in TerraFlow SDN once the entire process has been completed. Now, let's move on to the live demonstration. First, we verify that both the TerraFlow SDN controller and the Network Slice controller are up and running. Here we can see the TerraFlow SDN graphical interface, where the network topology is displayed, and we can confirm that no services are currently deployed. Next, we access the NSC Swagger interface, which contains all the endpoints exposed by the controller. Now we can look at the request that will be sent to the NSC, where the connection points are selected along with the energy-related requirements. Then, the request is sent trough the NSC. In there, we specify that a slice will be established between nodes A and G, along with the corresponding green requirements. The NSC logs confirm that the request has been successfully translated. Here we show the IETF formatted request, with all the requirements and endpoints properly mapped. If we go back to the NSC logs, we can see that the energy planner has been selected to compute the optimal path. Next, the logs show that the calculation will be performed between nodes A and G, using the DLOs specified in the request. Finally, once the computation is completed, the optimal path is displayed, traversing nodes A, E, and G. Finally, we return to the TerraFlow graphical interface. There, we can see that the Layer 2 service has been successfully created. If we open the service details, we can observe the green requirements that were specified in the initial request. And lastly, as we scroll down, we can confirm that the service is being routed through the optimal path previously computed. Thank you very much for your attention.